Let's go. I really got the feeling today that everything is going my way. Now this is what I'm talking about. Every time I see your smile, it makes me shout. Let's go. Let's go. Nothing's gonna stop us today. Get on the bus or get out the way. We're cruising with the radio on. So turn it up to 10. Here comes our favorite song. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good dawn, good anything wherever you find yourself on the continent. This is IoT Tuesday with yours truly, Samuel Adrani. Picking up from where we left off last week, in today's episode, we're going to talk about the second part of connecting or cloud connectivity, connecting our wheel stem now to the IoT Central. Last week, we talked about how to set the wheel stem, now how to create an IoT Central app. Today, we're going to take up, and then we also updated the firmware last week. But in today's episode, we're going to see how to load, some code base and start sending telemetry to IoT Central, and then start having some fun. Well, stick and stay with me. We'll be right back after the intro. Awesome, we are back again. Welcome to the show. If this is your first time, please do us a favor and subscribe right here. Subscribe. Like you always know, I always want to start with a couple of things out of the way. First part of this is just to talk about the subscription. Please try to grow the channel so we can get awesome content for you. So please make sure that as you've joined, you're watching the stream, please go check the YouTube channel out, subscribe. You're going to see a lot of content coming up. We're also going to start a new channel called Let's Experiment, which is going to be more pretty much hands-on, doing a lot of things that I love to do, fun stuff. So to get all this notification, make sure you go to the channel and subscribe. The second thing I want to talk about is Tech on Wheels. Yes, as the name implies, it is a project, a social project I'm doing to take technology to the most deprived areas of my country and potentially scale up to other parts of Africa. So if you're interested in knowing more and joining that, make sure send me a message, an email, whatever, comment on any of my social channels that you can see beneath the screen you're watching from. Almost to July, and the key thing, one of the biggest thing in the areas of IoT is the July OT, which is pretty much creation of content from Microsoft, from community, the cloud advocates, from IoT community members like myself and other people, putting content out to help you to learn IoT in the whole of July. So if you're interested, I'm going to drop the link to that in the comment in the chat so you can see that. Actually, we can go check that out. So we would see how that looks like. Make a date, make sure you join. Lots of stuff to learn. I'm opening the site so we can see that lots of interesting things to learn. I want to actually show you the lineup for what's going to happen in the whole of July, in July IoT or July OT. So from 1st to 2nd July, as you can see, let's bring in my zoom tool here so that we can focus on this. So from 1st to 2nd July, that's kind of like the content kickoff. From 5th to 9th July, that's artificial intelligence at the edge. From 12th to 16th, beginners, students, teachers, and makers will have lots of content dedicated to them. And then July 19th to 23rd, you're talking about microcontrollers and embedded hardware. And then from the 26th to the 30th of July, online learning and certification. So hopefully by the end of July, you would have, gone through this 31 days of learning IoT and potentially trying to certify for what do we call it, the certified Azure IoT developer certification. So lots and lots of good content there for you to see. So if you're interested, that's the link. I've just shared it in the chat. So make sure you look at it. And I think we should have an AKA a link to it. I'll actually try to get an AKA from Paul so that we can share that, on all our social feeds. So that is pretty much the last one. So last week, we saw how to connect our wheel terminal, this one right here. All right, we saw how to connect this we're trying to connect this to the cloud. So last week we did a couple of things. The first thing we did was we created our IoT central app. All right, let me just take you there and show you this. So we had, as you can see, IoT Tuesday video demo. That's how we called it. So we had that secure. We had that sorted out. And then what we went ahead to do, was also to update the firmware, especially the Wi-Fi firmware on the wheel terminal. That is because it needs internet connectivity to send the data to IoT Central. So we did an update of the firmware. So with that out of the way, in today's session, what we're going to be doing, we're trying to do two things today before hopefully by the end of the stream. And as you all know, these streams are more or less, to do it together with you. I won't do it elsewhere and come and so okay, this is how I did it. We try to walk through it and learn together. So I'm going to walk through the step with you. I've not done it. I've not done this yet. It's just so we can all learn. So actually, let me take this off just to get rid of the glare and stuff that'll come. Yeah. So we're going to do this together. So in today's episode, what we'll be doing is one, we'll be downloading a piece like set of C++ code, which will run on the wheel. And that code is what's going to be sending telemetry to IoT Central. And then we'll all go to IoT Central and see how to tweak and do stuff there. And don't forget, if you have any questions, please drop them in the comment or the chat, whichever platform you're using. I'll see it on my console here and I'll try to respond to it. If you have any questions concerning IoT, how to get started, hardware, and things that you want to see on the channel, please make sure to just comment and we'll try to do it. I think one of these days I should bring a special guest. Olivier has been on the show. We talked about, getting started in IoT and making it simpler. But there's someone I want to bring on the show, just to talk about, it's a hidden passion most people didn't know of, but now we know. So I'll try to bring that person on. So let's get into it. And then if you want to follow along, if you have the wheel terminal, we are actually following along. Sorry, we're actually following along with content provided by Seed Studio because we're using their wiki. So we're going to go through that process. And yeah, so let's get straight into it. So the next step we want to do is, first of all, is to get the piece of firmware. Let me show you where we're getting the content from. So it's not as if we are conjuring some of these things to come. So let me make this a bit bigger so we can see it clearly. So we've pretty much we've completed the steps updating the network firmware. We've done that. So the second part is downloading a piece of code, and this is the repo. I've actually opened the repo here. I'm sharing that as well in the chat, so you all should see the link. One thing I want us to do is pretty much look at, these are various attestations that are accessible, are available for, the updates on the device. A couple of things we can do. I don't want us to spend too much time on this. Would be for you to, how do you call it, look at the source code, look at it and see what has been written. Let's actually open this and let's see. So you can see the main application signatures, the Azure device provisioning service client. So some of the concepts that I mentioned earlier will be introducing. Device provisioning service was one, IoT Central was one, a couple of things. So device provisioning service is a service from Azure, part of Azure IoT services that allows you to do device provisioning at scale. All right. So if you're dealing in the real world of production where you have like thousands and thousands of devices, DPS or device provisioning service allows you to provision them onto your application, in a much scalable and secure way. So if you can look at all these things, and then look at exactly what is being written and look at the source code of it. So you can see you have the certificate here, you have string formatting, abort, log, display, print, um, you know, so there are a couple of the code bases there. So it's something that we can take time and look at, but I entreat you to take a look at the code, look at it, try to understand what's happening in there. Um, and then I think if we go back there, we should see a bunch of next steps. So we've updated the Wi-Fi firmware. We did that last week. Configure directly connect to the Azure IoT Hub. So we are not connecting to Azure IoT Hub. All right. If we're doing the Azure IoT Hub, this would be steps that you would do. If you wanted to you provisioning using device provisioning on IoT Hub, this is what you would do. All right. But we are going to connect it. We are not connected to IoT Hub. We are connecting it to IoT Central. And our generals author Benjamin has been really generous into doing this. And that's something I want to encourage you. If you write some of these libraries or these projects and stuff, please contribute them, to the GitHub repo so that others can also, take it up and then try them. All right. So this is the code base. I just want to share that with you. I've already downloaded this code base, so we can keep going back to now. So before we can do this, we need to put the wheel terminal in a bootloader mode. And if you look at the sequence, so pretty much on the side here, let me go back here. So on the side, you can see the button, all right? So we are supposed to put it in bootloader mode, connecting it, turning it on, all right? And then moving it, kind of like sliding it down twice, all right, to let it move into bootloader mode. And then once we do that, we should see kind of like a drive in our file explorer called Arduino. And then we can now actually uh, copy or drag the file we downloaded, the zip file we downloaded from GitHub, which is this one there. And then that would, load the firmware on it. We'll turn it off, and then we should have the wheel terminal now loaded with the new firmware. All right. And then we'll move ahead to do the Wi-Fi configuration and then put it into the cloud. So let's go ahead and do that. So already, like you all know, I have the power. It's USB Type C. Let's go to the bench. So connecting it. Let me get my phone out of the way somewhere here. And then, so this is it. So apparently when we do that, we should see the blue lights. I'm not sure if you can see this, but let me bring this a bit here. So there is a blue light here. Let me actually swing this here so we can see that. Yeah. So there is a blue light here. Where is my pointer? Where is that? There you go. So yeah, right here. Okay, so Arduino G is there. So what I'm going to do is, first off, let me just close this. So we might see this blinking. So to put it in the mode, what we're supposed to do is now it's on state. So we're supposed to move it, release it, and then do it again. Okay. So is it blinking? Yeah, I should think so. Or better still, we can try that. Well, it's loaded. So, well, let me close this and try again. So it's on state. Slide and release. Slide and release. Okay. Yeah, I think this is it now. Yeah. Yes. So now the blue is breathing. So now let's go here. So and this is what happened when I did that. It actually opened this up. All right. So let's minimize this. And then I have the wheel terminal. So I'm going to drag it here. So drop it in there. So let's see. There we go. Okay, check so there's a UF2 file, and then we put the US. Okay, so pretty much not the entire thing. Let's bring it here. Actually, let's delete this and let's extract this here. Okay, there we go. And let's open this up. Where is U2 file? Okay, I think this is it. No, the JSON file. Let's look at that. Okay, there we go. Let's go back. So just take a look at this. This is the mass. So let's see this. So we go here. Oh. So we downloaded the code. So we downloaded the code base instead of the release. So let's go back. There was good that I didn't. Yeah, so let's go to releases here. So if you go to the link to the repo, all right, let's open the releases. And then you can see the latest release, which is this one, right? So I'll go for the here. This is the file. So this is the file we're looking for, not the zip file. So here, so let's go ahead and download that. There we go. Save the file. Yeah, let's just put it on the desktop. Same place. So with that done, I think that's done. Yep. Yep. So with that done, all we need to do now, so we can actually, delete this if we wanted to look at the code base, but this is what we need. So we're going to drag this here into it. Yep. And once that's done, right? So connecting to SSID. So per the instructions we have, all right, once that is done, we need to, turn it off and turn it back on, all right? So yeah, once all this is done, we should turn it off. So I'm going to go ahead and turn it off. Now on the screen, I'm going to share with you in a bit. On the screen, what happened was I realized that so I'm going to turn it back on. The next step obviously is for us to configure the Wi-Fi and then Azure IoT, which will be, send probably copying some connection string files and doing some updates. But when you turn it on, all right, take a look at that. Let me see if I can bring it closer. Yeah. Come on. I need to get myself I need to get myself a cooler camera. Don't worry, this does the job. It's just an issue of focus. There you go. So this is what I see on the VO terminal saying connecting to SSID. All right. So pretty much that's set up. Okay. So let's go through the next steps. Let's go through the next steps of setting up let's move the configuration, to and connect it to Azure IoT Hub. All right. So now first step, we should hold down the three buttons, and this is what I'm reading from. So I'm not conjuring anything, just from the link that I sent. So the first step is for us to hold down all the three buttons and turn on the wheel terminal to enter into the configuration mode. All right. So let's turn this off, and so hold all the three. That's crazy. How many hands? 1, 2, 3. Okay. So this is going to be weird, but I'll try to do it. Okay, so apparently, or see, we can be smart about this, right? We can put kind of like maybe a straight edge here, and then push this, and you are sure that it's pushing all the three, and then we turn it on. There you go. Ah, look at that. It says that in configuration mode, right? There you go. So now it says it's in configuration mode, as you can see, in configuration mode. I think it's, oh, this is a cool angle. I can probably tilt it or have something to hold it. I think, you know what? Let me try this selfie stick. The only thing is that the selfie stick, so I, after just seeing that, I kind of feel, okay, let's see this. Is it on the side? Yep, so that it doesn't obstruct, yeah, appropriate technology. Yeah, I can, let's push it up a bit. Yeah, I don't want it to obstruct the button. Should I have the need to, yeah, but then the only other concern is it's a bit high. All right. Well, anyways, I guess this won't work now. But yeah, I'll figure it out. All right, I'll figure a way to get it somewhere here, which seems to be would give us kind of like a good feeling on that. All right. So with this set this way, um, you need some prerequisites. You need to have the putty or putty or putty, whatever however you pronounce it. All right. And so I think I have mine. So let's go open that up. Where is mine saved? Utilities. I think. Yeah, there you go. So let's open this. All right, and let's bring this here. And don't forget, if you have any questions, please feel free to ask. Or the show is here to help you learn and understand. So if you think if you see me do something that you don't really understand, please make it a point to just prompt me and say, "Hey, Samuel, I don't get what you're saying," so I can actually help you. I can clarify. So type the correct COM port. So right now we need to know which port the Wii U terminal is on. So I think to do this, the easiest way is you can actually go to your device. Let's go to device manager, right? I mean, it might not be the fastest, but for me, if you go to device manager and you look for port, you see that there's something on COM3, right? You can refresh to see the changes. Another way I see, I think it's on port 4. Another way you can do this is if you have the Arduino IDE, open the Arduino IDE because the wheel is already connected. Um, the wheel is already connected to the machine. It's going to show you the port on which it's registered, and then you can make sure that you are selecting the correct port. So let's open Arduino IDE and make sure that we are seeing. So do you see that on COM4? So if you look down here, on my machine, you can see that. Just trying to make it big. Let me get myself out of the way so you can see this here. So if you look down here, so yeah, so here it says seed wheel terminal master enabled small OS blah 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 on Arduino off on COM what 4. So at least we know that it's on COM port 4. All right. So let's go ahead, let's close this, and then I'm going to bring this into, where is that? There you go. Where is the serial connection? Let's go ahead here. Where is that serial? There you go. Mm. But I see, okay, no, let's just go to the session. I think I just had to select serial from here, all right, so that it can match that. So select serial, all right. We're just trying to match the same thing from, we know ours is on COM port 4. Let's change it to COM port 4. The baud rate is the same. It's serial. Yeah, pretty much. I think that's it. Yeah, we do that. And then let's see. So make sure we have the COM port correct. We have the baud rate. We set to serial. And yeah, we click on open. And I want to see if, so it's still showing in configuration mode on the wheel terminal, and we don't see, and it's just, this blank. Press enter on the keyboard and type help in the serial terminal. Okay, so let's do this. We press enter. Okay, so we are in it now, and then it says we should type help. Okay, so now we're actually serially communicating to how do you call it? Serially communicating to the wheel terminal. So set Wi-Fi by, okay, so there is, you can say, okay, so set Wi-Fi SSID, set Wi-Fi SSID. All right, so we've seen that. So let's go ahead and set Wi-Fi SSID, right? And I will use this one, free logic. Okay. Make sure to add single space between the fields. Yes, we did. Okay, so we've set that. And then the second part, I can see set. So let's do this. Set underscore Wi-Fi PWD and then space. And here, I will need to hide my screen from you so that I can enter my key. So just a sec. So what I'm doing now is basically, so I'm taking this off. I'm taking it off screen because I entered my password and it's showing in the console until I'm done. I can't expose it. So let's do that. So that has been set. So make sure to add us. Yeah, we've done that. Now, set connection information of Azure IoT by visiting the previously created Azure IoT Central. So this is what we created the last time. It is here. All right, so we have that. So now we've successfully connected our Wheels terminal to the local Wi-Fi. All right. Now we need to also set configuration for the Azure IoT device provisioning service. Or whatever IoT Central, whatever information we need, we can set it from there. Now, also know that the Wheel terminal has been approved as one of the Azure plug and play devices because it has a digital twin device definition, set in the repo. But I will not bore you with that. So let's just go ahead and get through with this quickly. So let me move this also here so that we can focus. We don't need this anymore. We don't need this anymore. We don't need this anymore. We've not it. So let's just keep it straight and simple. So let's go to IoT Central and then we go to the administration section here. And then on the administration section, let's go to device connection, which you can see from here. So let's zoom in a bit so you can see this. So we started from administration here. All right. Um, let's just erase that. So we started from administration and then we'll go to device connection. All right. So here, this would allow us to pretty much connect to the device. All right. So nothing crazy. So let's go ahead. And we'll copy either in some specific information related to it and then use. All right, and some of these things are also a bit how do you call it, a bit secret. So I'll just put you back to the workbench once you see that, and let me do that. Okay, so let's go to administration, device connection. So I see that I have a SaaS. I can actually show you that, but I would have to hide a couple of things on the screen. So let's do this. So let's go ahead, and then, so I'm going to copy the scope ID. So that is copied. I'm going to paste it somewhere here. Let me go into my code and call this scope ID. Awesome. And then, so we're gonna, so let me quickly show you this. I mean, I don't worry, I can already reset this, so I'm not really worried. So this is a scope ID showing here at the top here, and then we can use the SaaS IoT devices. All right, we are not using any edge. This is devices, and then this allows us to have shared access signature that gives whatever code we copy from here, or configuration we copy from here. We're going to configure it on the Wheels terminal so that the Wheels terminal will be seen or allowed access to communicate to this IoT central. All right, great. So let me take you back to the bench whilst I do that. So click on it. And yep, and this will take us to, and don't worry, I'll show you screenshots of this with the ID sticking out, so we don't have to stress about it. All right, so we do that, and then I'll copy the primary key, which is this one. Let me copy it and keep it somewhere because I'll need it to configure it. All right, then in the serial. All right, now back to the serial. We're going to use the set AZ IoT central. All right, and so let's do that whilst we're doing that. And sorry, I can't share this, but promise you I'm going to share this on in a blog post so you can see. I'll probably cut some of those places off, but then I'll show you that. So let's do this. That's our terminal, and then we are going to do set underscore az underscore IOTC for IoT Central. All right. And then the first part is our ID scope. Remember, we copied that, and then okay, let's put the primary scope here. Okay. Okay, 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 okay. All right, there you go. And then the key. So just copy this. So I'm going to show you how. I'll just show you how you're supposed to do that. Actually, let's do that. All right, and let me bring this here instead. So this is where we are. We are here where we're supposed to set that. So set AZ IoTC, the scope ID, the primary key, and then your device name. Now the device name can be, any name. All right. So let's go ahead and do that. So I've copied the key. Sorry, the scope. I'm going to paste the key here. Copy. And like I said, forgive me because this is, so let's call this device logic wheel. All right. And then we do this, and then that has also been now set successfully. So we've set, so what we did, three things that we did. First off was setting the Wi-Fi SSID, the Wi-Fi password, and then now we're configuring the Azure IoT Central details, which includes the scope ID, your primary key, and then your device name, which could be any name you give to it. All right. So with that done, what we need to do now is to reset the terminal. All right. So let's go ahead and reset it. And then we'll be able to see the wheels LCD displaying that is connected to the Wi-Fi and and all that. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's go to the bench. So to do this, quite simple. We turn it off, all right, and then it is on, and then we slide, and then we slide, all right. So if you look at it, so we see that it says, awesome. So let me show you this. Okay, I think this is the only position. Yeah, there you go. So you see, it says connecting to SSID, connecting to Azure IoT Hub device provisioning service, connected to Azure IoT Hub Success, send telemetry 1, send telemetry 2, send telemetry 3, send telemetry 4. So now it's sending telemetry, as you can see from here. So the device is connected to IoT Central, sorry, it's connected to the Wi-Fi, connected to the device provisioning service, connected to IoT Hub, and then you can see it's sending telemetry through the Wi-Fi it's connected to. So now we know telemetry is going. So the next cool thing we need to do now is how do we go, and I think we don't need the terminal anymore, so I can close this. So the next thing is that how do we now connect or actually display the telemetry in IoT Central? Because at this point, we can see from Wheels terminal that telemetry is going, all right? So let's do this. So let's open IoT Central. Where is that? Let me keep this here. I think we already have IoT Central open. Why did I open Postman? Okay. Yeah, I would have to delete this app and create a new one because for some reason we've exposed our key. Anyway, all right. So let's go ahead and do this. So now that we are in IoT Central, we know that our VOS terminal is sending telemetry. How do we display the telemetry in IoT Central? All right. So let's go ahead and click devices from here and look at this. You see the device we just added, Logic View. You see that? The device ID, it's provision, it's the template. You see, so this is one of the plug and play or what can see device template is the seed view terminal. So which means that now if you were not using let's say a seed studios view terminal and you wanted to use any other device, the initial or the earlier stage or traditional way will be for you to create what we call a device template. And a device template is telling you what are the properties, what are the commands, what are all those things, metadata. And then now you can now provision devices to use that template. So that has been done for you here. All right, so nothing to stress about. So we have that. So now we can see that. We can see the device. All right, so let's click on our device here. We click on it. And then take a look at that. So almost like, let me zoom in here so you can see this properly. So almost like magic without any, let me actually give you full screen. Let me kick myself out. So almost like magic without any, um, you know, any work. Look at this. We have this very basic and simple. We see the acceleration from the wheels terminal. We see acceleration Y. We see acceleration Z. So watch this. I should be okay. So don't worry. I'm gonna split my screen into several forms. You're gonna see a lot of things, but check this out. So I've just picked it, the wheel terminal, and I'm actually moving it. I'm just moving it around and hopefully the values we have from 2, 1, negative should probably change. So yeah, do you see that? Now we have 0.95 for acceleration Z, 0.05 for acceleration X, and then 0.02 for acceleration. So I'm just messing around, I'm just messing around with it and you're seeing the values, reflect. Right, cool. So this gives you, very basic information. So this is a default view, all right? Like this is the default that comes with IoT Central. So it gives you this dashboard, and you can pretty much add any more. You can add a lot of tiles you want to add to it. You want to tweak it. You can tweak it because your device template's already done for you. You can actually now connect this to Power Platform like Power Apps to get the data stream in there, and create your own commands that can come back to the view terminal. Maybe one of the things we can explore would be to attach, let's say, a groove, let's say sensor or maybe a motor or something, but that will involve us going back to modify the code to allow that. All right, but there's a sample code we can use to rapidly get things running quickly. All right. So uh, this is basic, very simple. So now we have our wheel terminal sending data or telemetry to Azure IoT Central, pretty much connected to IoT Hub, DPS, and then sending telemetry. All right, connected to our Wi-Fi. So very basic, quite simple. All right. So what do we want to do now? Let's say let's make some changes. All right, to the display. This kind of display we're seeing. And if you're just joining us, this is IoT Tuesday. Today is the second part of the series on the Wheels Terminal Cloud Communication. We're trying to connect our Wheel Terminal to Azure IoT Central. In the last episode, we set up IoT Central. We updated the Wi-Fi firmware on our Wheel. Today, what we've done is that we've actually configured the Wi-Fi details on the Wheel terminal. We've configured the IoT Central details on the Wheel terminal, and then we are now sending telemetry to the IoT Central. So that is what we're up to. So if you have any questions, feel free, drop it in the chat, comment, and then I will respond. So let's go ahead and click on device template. And then let's look at the seed wheel terminal. You can see that. So this is it. So there are no changes yet. All right. So what we want to do is now go to, you can see that this is so these are this is what makes up the device template. So acceleration X, Y, Z, light intensity, right button, middle button, left button, ring buzzer. So you see that as of now, the only ones that are bringing us some telemetry here, kind of like, we have acceleration X, Y, Z. Light, the capability is to send telemetry, all right, but we don't have any semantic type for it yet. For the right, middle, left, they also can send telemetry, but if you look at the ring buzzer, that's supposed to be a command. So this is just defining the digital twin definition, all right. So let's go to overview here. And then let's go all the way. So you see how it's showing it, right? So this is how come it's showing it. So let's go all the way down to, where is that? So let's go here. Where's that? Where's that? Where's that? Yeah. Overview. Let's go. Pum, 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 pum. So here, let's go ahead to, where is our telemetry? Let's do this. So yeah, there you go. So you have to make sure you are on start with devices. So you can see under telemetry. So I want to close all this so we can. So the telemetry, the new visualization I want to do, all right, I could select telemetry and select what I want to visualize, whether it is the light intensity or click and stuff like that. I'll select it from here. So let's see, let's add light intensity, all right, or let's add a new one. I think we should let's add a new tile. Let's do that. Okay, Let's do that. So let's do the light intensity. So select the light intensity, and then let's go ahead, and then you can see our tile here. So when I selected the property light intensity, I go down here. Maybe you're not seeing it. Let me zoom in for you to see. So I selected from the drop down here. Sorry, this is too big. Let me actually escape this. So here I selected light intensity. All right, light intensity, and then all the way down to click on what? Add tile. Okay, so click on add tile, and now let's resize this, and then you can see that it's added the light intensity, all right, to our overview or to our dashboard. So here I can decide to, resize and all that. I could, move it and say I want it to be here. You can see the snapping and stuff to make it look, properly organized. So you can also resize and edit it by, either clicking this one, change the visualization to, if it's a heat map, bar chart. Let me show you this. Let me zoom in so you can see this. So if I want to change the type of visualization, I can click here, all right, and I can select a bunch of options. So if I do this, you can see that I have the option to use KPI, bar chart, heat map, line chart, pie chart, or just last known values, all right. Then also here, I can also select the size, whether I want it 2 by 2, 3 by 3, 4 by 4, or 2 by 1. I can also select that from there, right? So let's say we do the same thing for the buttons, all right? So let's add the buttons, okay? So for this one, we're going to leave it to the line chart, all right? And then for the left, right, and center buttons, let's change them and use like KPIs, okay, for them. So we're going to go through the same process and add the two. So quickly, let's do that. So select the telemetry. I'll say let's start here with the left button. All right, add it to the tile, and then we'll change this to a KPI. And then let's go ahead, and then the right button, let's add this, and then let's change this to a KPI, and then the center button. So select here the middle button, add a tile, all right? And then let's make this also a KPI, all right? And in terms of, centering it, you can do it anyhow you want, but let's try this. Let's put this here, and let's actually reduce, let's do this. Let's make this 1 by 1, and then let's make this also 1 by 1. Then we can put that here, and then we can bring this here. So all I'm just trying to do is just to build um, a display or a view, all right, that would. So let's go ahead. So at the top here, I need to click on save, okay, because I'm saving the new, the new look of this, right? So let's go ahead and do this. So once this is saved, make sure we go back, and then make sure that you publish, all right? Make sure that you publish this. Let me show you this. So here, now if you don't publish it, the changes you've just made will not reflect on the dashboard, right? So once you've saved it, you can just make sure you come here and click on the publish. Now, if you did this, if you didn't save in the previous screen, you could also come and click the save from here. You could come and click the save from here. You see that because we saved in the previous screen, it is disabled, but you could do that from here, all right? So once it is published, right, we can go back to our dashboard and hold up. Let's go to device template. Let's open this. Yeah, let's go here. So let's go back. Yep, 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 yep. All right. Okay. Looks like everything looks good. Okay. Interesting. So there we go. Let me zoom this in a bit. And then now you can see that we have not just the acceleration XY, we also have what? The light intensity, the info from the right and the left button, right? All over time. Now, we can also, see the telemetry in real time. All right. So if you look here, let me show you something here. So you can see the commands, you can see the raw data. So this is what I meant by you can also see in real time the raw data coming in that is being used to do the visualization. So if you click on the raw data, this is what you see, right? So if you select any node, let's say acceleration and stuff like that, if you expand it, right, you can see it's coming in, right? There you go. So this is the data that is streaming. You can see the data that is coming in that is being used, to build the visuals you're seeing, right? So this is it. So every data set has got the value for acceleration that is coming in that you can visualize, right? So this is the data that is being used to actually um, build those, visuals. These visuals that you're seeing, right? So let's see. How are we doing on time? So we're actually doing cool. We have about 8 minutes. Um, so like I mentioned, this is, how simple it is to connect your Wheels terminal to Azure IoT Central. I think what I would want to probably do here is to quickly show you one thing I want to do here. I would want us to do a third part to show us how we can connect, let's say, an external temperature and humidity sensor to it, and then bring that data also um, into IoT Central. So yeah, I was hoping to end this on just this, but I think it would be interesting to know how do you connect an external device, which is the DHT. So I think let's go to the bench. Let me show you the DHT. So this is the DHT 11, this one here, this particular one. So how do we connect this to our Wheel terminal and then also start to receive temperature and humidity data in IoT Central? So let's say in 7 minutes, I'm going to show you in 7 minutes, I'm going to show you how to create a rule and then send an email if that rule, if that rule is triggered. All right. So let's do that. So to do that, let's go here. So the rule we want to do is that, let's say we can send an email when the light intensity is below 50. So currently, what do we get? What's our light? What's the value here? We are averaging. Actually, I can use acceleration. Let's see acceleration X. If I turn it this way, what happens? I want to see the changes. Okay, so acceleration Y is now 0, 0. Let's do this. Let's see what the value is for acceleration Y when it's lying flat here. Okay, okay, okay. Okay, so let's try Z. If I lift it up and I turn it this way. Okay, so acceleration Y goes up to 1 when I lift it. So I like that. So I'm going to use acceleration Y. So let's do this. Let's build this. So on the left hand side here, oh apologies. Hopefully you can see that here. Today's zoom in. Okay, so right here. So on the left hand side, we're going to go to rules. All right, and this is where we're going to build our rules to make changes. So let's go to rules. And as you can see, we don't have any rules. All right, so we're going to create a new rule, right? And then we'll just say, let's call this change in speed. All right, it's enabled. The device template you can see is the wheel terminal. And then we can go ahead and set this up. So look at the condition. All right, so this is what we want to do when all conditions are true. So, and one of the things we want to do is we want this to a time window of about, for the sakes of the demo, we can't do any bigger, but you probably want to do like maybe 5-10 minutes. So we want to do this, in a time aggregate of, let's say, 1 minute, so we can see it happening on the show before we leave. All right, so let's do it. So let's do a time aggregate. I have 5 minutes. Um, which is over 5 minutes. So if we do the time aggregation, say over the past 5 minutes, has this condition been true? Okay, that's fine. Let's do the past 5 minutes. That's correct. So the telemetry we want to do is acceleration Y. Okay, if it's so currently it's 0 point something. So if it's equals to, or if let's say if it's greater than 0, okay. Let's say if it's greater than, let's use a count. All right, and then let's say 0.1. Right, if it's greater than 0.1, or let's just say if it's greater than 0. All right, because we want to see this trigger. All right, so let's do that. So there you go. So 0, and you can choose any of the telemetries. Light intensity, left button, right button. You can pretty much do it. I'm using Y. I'm using acceleration Y. All right, so, and then what is the action? So this is the condition. When the condition is met, what action do you want to take? So let's go ahead, and then do you want to email or do a webhook? So this is two important things. Let me here. So these are the actions. All right, so either you are doing an email or you want to do a webhook. And my webhook decided not to go well. So two things. An email is just when this condition is met, just send an email to this. The webhook part is if this condition is met, send, like, call or send an event, kind of like publish it. I think that's the right word. Publish this happening or this trigger to a particular endpoint. So this is where you can probably do notification. So let's say if this was an air conditioner, and the trigger is that if the temperature goes, let's say, below or above a certain degree, send a webhook. So this could be, let's say, an SMS notification or a UI or like a power app that will receive a notification to say that, look, it's gone down, something like that. All right, now for the sakes of today's demo, we're just going to do an email. So we're going to click on email. So you see this. So change in speed triggered on the device at this time. So this is the template of the email that you're going to see. All right, so let's do this. Let me send this to myself. Let's do let's do this at Outlook. All right, sorry about that. Oh no, sorry. So the display name will be, let's say Logic Smart AC Alert. All right, and then we're sending it to this person. We're sending it to this person. outlook.com. And then let's just say just a test. How we doing? Okay, we're almost done, but let's just do this quickly. So we have one action. So I'm going to save this. All right. What are you saying? Yeah. Oh no. Why are the gods of the demo days not being favorable to us? Okay, another thing you also need to know is that um the email address should be added to the Azure IoT Central, the application itself. All right, and also should have at least signed in one. So I'm using my, it's the same account I'm using. So let's go fix this. Let's go to the administration. Yeah, we can come back and do this. So I'm going to go to users, and then I'll say assign. Well, it's already here. So, oh, that's Outlook. Okay, you know what? Let's assign a user here. I'm going to do this at hotmail.com. Yeah, I'm going to make him an administrator. It's my own account, so pretty much that's it. Okay. Then let's go ahead. I'm going to use the same email. It's Outlook, so let's go ahead and go to the rules. Why? What's happening? This is strange. And it decides to fail on me. Live demo, people. What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? Okay, let's return to home. I don't know what's happening. And I don't have any theories of why this is happening. Oh, 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 check this out. It's saying I don't have an app, which is not true because I have an app. Wait a minute. Unless, of course, this is happening to us in a live show where it's past 7 days for the trial. So is it kicking me out because I didn't upgrade? That's an interesting one. I think that's what happened because now it's not seeing my app. You know what? Let me just sign out. Let me sign out for just for the sakes of curiosity. I just want to see what just happened because we're just going to create the rule in which ways. Okay, so okay, let's sign in again. That would be strange. Send a notification. Let me do my multi-factor. Approve. There we go. All right. So let's go back here and see if we can find our app. Ah, this is strange. Well, it looks like I've eventually asked us to say goodbye. But that is how we actually send telemetry to. I want to suspect that it's because maybe it's past 7 days and it was a trial, so it's probably wiped it out. But that's how you try it. What I'm going to do is that I'm going to replicate the same thing, but in a paid subscription because I have a paid subscription, so we can keep this. But I'm going to put the steps. I've already shared the link to the documentation we're using, but I also create a very small blog post on how to, especially loading and enter values in there. If this has been useful to you and you found this very interesting, please don't forget to subscribe right here. Subscribe to my channel so we can grow it, so you can learn new stuff. If you have any questions, please don't forget to send me any comment, questions, feedback, suggestions on any of my social media handle. Until I come your way again next week, there's actually a very cool thing I want to talk about, but it's going to happen on Friday. So make sure you join me on the Mystify Tech on Friday and go to see what that cool thing I'm going to talk about. But until then, this has been another awesome episode of IoT Tuesday. Make a date with us next week, and always, 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 always remember we can make the world a better place through tech. And COVID is real. Stay safe, be kind, and enjoy the rest of your week. I am yours truly, Samuel Adrani, and I am out.